This video is to demonstrate the disassembly and reassembly of the Bruhen stainless steel French press plunger assembly. So this is what it looks like when it's delivered. The filter basket, the plunger rod, you've got the lid, and then there's a knob at the top. So we don't include instructions for disassembling it because we actually don't recommend disassembling it very often or ever. But you may need to disassemble it for an occasional cleaning, and also we ship it with two mesh filters installed. So the rod will just unscrew out of the filter basket. We do ship it very tight on there, so you may need to use some vice grips or pliers to hold on to that rod where my fingers are, where my thumb is holding that rod, and then use your hand to unscrew that. Now when you do, be careful because some of these edges can be sharp. This larger piece at the end of the rod is a second piece, so you can see that that will also unscrew off of the plunger rod. And that's really just a spacer to attach down to the filter basket. So when you disassemble it, you'll have that piece, the plunger rod. You'll have this piece, which is the spacer, and then you'll have the top of the filter basket that looks like this with the spring around the edge. You'll have two wire mesh filters, and then you'll have the bottom of the filter basket. So once a year, if that, you may want to take it all apart and then wash it by hand, because what can happen is some coffee grounds or some dust can accumulate here in the bottom of the filter basket. It won't affect the flavor of your coffee, but sometimes it's just nice to do a deep cleaning and get all of that out of there. It's not necessary to take it apart before the first use. We ship it ready to use, but if it's come apart, then this is the way that you reassemble it. So the bottom of the filter basket is first, then the two. If you want to use two, some people prefer only using one wire mesh filter. It's a personal preference. Using one will give you, the difference is that using one will give you a slightly fuller flavor. It'll just let more of the particulates through. But if you want to reinstall two, put those right onto the bottom of the filter basket, and then the top just goes right on top of there. Then we've got the spacer, and the plunger rod will just go right into the spacer. And then it'll continue right on into the receiver on the bottom of the filter basket. And just tighten it up. Holding onto this just as tight as you can, finger tight, should be fine. You want to avoid, if it does get loose, you want to avoid using the French press with that attachment at the bottom loose. That's the only place that we've ever seen failures over time, is at this those threads. If you take it apart, if you take the filter basket apart every single time you use it, then it will fail over time. It's not designed for that. And if you hold on to the knob and try and tighten it that way, you can over tighten this knob and that can strip too. So avoid holding on to the knob and using that for leverage. That should just be finger tight. It doesn't need to be over tightened, and you can break the knob if you over tighten that. And then it's ready to use. So this is the French press. There should be nothing in the bottom when you use it. Just put the coffee grounds down in there in the bottom. Add your hot water, stir it up, wait 4 minutes, and then while you're waiting, we like to put the lid on just to retain the heat. And after the 4 minutes, you'll just push that plunger assembly all the way down and you're ready to pour. So I hope that helps. We also have a more detailed video that shows some of the techniques for changing the flavor of the brew of your coffee. So you can experiment with different temperatures of water, different length of the brewing time, different coarseness of the grounds of coffee will let more or fewer particulates through. And of course, different types of water and different types of coffee, different roasts from Africa, from South America, lighter roasts and darker roasts are all going to change the flavor of your coffee. So happy brewing, and thank you from your friends at Bruhen. This is Philip signing out. Thanks.